Good afternoon, baseball fans. It is Friday, December. Good Lord, October 27th. This is what you get when you get a free show. You get a host that doesn't even know what fucking month it is. I apologize about that.
Been a long
if
year.
Tell me about it. If you're new around here, I am Susie. This is Bourbon and Baseball, and this is going to be a not safe for work episode. Most of the episodes are not safe for work. Lots of cussing, lots of F-bombs. If your children are near and you don't want them to hear this, you should probably put earmuffs on them or, put them away. Not like in a box or anything, just like
Put
send
the
them to
children
another room.
away.
Yeah. So I have a very special treat for you today. I have Makayla Perkins from the PHNX Network. Now, Makayla, I want you to know that I became an instant fangirl of you when I was looking for D-Backs podcast a while back, and I had run across a clip of you just basically stomping on the grave of the Dodgers because
Yes.
hi, Dodgers, no. And I was like, I love this fucking girl. And I needed to talk to her immediately. So I just wanted to give you a big shout out there because,
Thank you.
oh my fucking God, you are awesome. So
Thank you. Yes. Any opportunity I have to shit on the Dodgers, I will take it. I am the biggest Dodger hater on the face of the planet. And I feel like, obviously, I know your podcast is very Astro-centric. So I feel like that's something we can kind of bond over. But yeah, obviously the Diamondbacks are in the NL West with the Dodgers, and we've always kind of been looked at as like their little brother. There's a lot of history between our two teams. They jumped in our pool after they won the NLDS a couple years ago in 2017, and just like a bunch of bad blood. And obviously, as a Diamondbacks fan through and through, I hate the Dodgers. And so I think my life peaked when we beat them in the NLDS this year. And so when I got to get on that post-game show,
when you
it.
swept. When you swept the Dodgers.
Swept the Dodgers. Did not just beat them, swept them. I had to stomp on their grave because we hardly ever get that opportunity, and I just had to take it, and it was worth every second of it. I got a lot of angry DMs afterwards, but I couldn't hear them over the sound of the champagne in the locker room anyways, so it is what it is.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Now, like I said, I came across y'all's podcast when I was looking for random like Diamondback podcasts.
Yes.
And now you're not always on there, correct?
No. Yeah,
Okay.
no. Our two main hosts are Derek Montilla and Jesse Friedman, and they are awesome. They cover the D-backs year round. They do the podcast 5 days a week, even in the off season, and they are just so passionate about the Diamondbacks, and they always find something to talk about with his team, which is great. Jesse is a Baseball Writer of America reporter, and then Derek also covers the team as well, credentialed at the ballpark. So there are two main guys, and then they kind of just add me into the mix whenever they need an extra boost on the show. I have a lot of energy. I actually used to work for the Diamondbacks, so I'm really close with the team. I love baseball. I'm a baseball girl through and through. It's my favorite sport. It's the best sport in the world. I'm also a traditionalist, so I keep the book and listen to the radio broadcasts. Like, I am a baseball girl, so they bring me on whenever they need a little extra oomph to the show, I guess.
Makayla, I am falling in love with you more and more. Like, the more you talk, I'm all like, this girl, she's my person, and I love her. So
spirit animals.
Oh my goodness. So have the Diamondbacks always been your team, or
No.
Okay.
I have a little bit of an interesting history. So I grew up in Colorado. So I grew up a Rockies fan. I went to Rockies games with my family as a kid, and I unfortunately I don't know if I would say unfortunately. I've decided to not be a fan of the Rockies anymore until they get a new owner, because their owner is a moron and he doesn't care about the team. The team is basically just a money thing for him so that he can continue building investments, and the Rockies are just abysmal. And I started working for the Diamondbacks in 2018. And so that's kind of when I started to shift alliances a little bit, which is ironic because it was the Rockies and the D-backs in the 2017 wild card game. And I was there for that game. And I was like so conflicted because I knew I was going to be working for the D-backs, but I grew up a Rockies fan. But yeah, in 2018, when I started working for the Diamondbacks, I started shifting alliances. And so now I'm just full blown in it. Like I suffered through the 110 loss season with them. I went through the Paul Goldschmidt trade. Like I've been there in the trenches with this team. So I have fully defected over to the Diamondbacks side. I cannot even stand. I boycott the Rockies. I can't stand to even look at them. They are dead to me. And until they get a new owner, which will probably be never, I will never pay attention to them again.
Oh my goodness, Makayla, that is hysterical. I love that. So, I need everybody to know that I am a Diamondbacks lover, and it's not just been like a recent thing. Last season, I was on the D-backs train.
Yeah, girl.
I was in on Corbin Carroll last season. In December, is it December?
Yes.
Yeah, in December, we my old co-host and I recorded an episode where we just did like a way too early prediction show. And I was like, don't sleep on the Diamondbacks. Don't sleep. Now, granted, I didn't have them going to the World Series. That's hand up. That's on me.
That's
I
okay.
apologize.
I don't think anyone did.
But I was like, don't sleep on them. I'm like, you're gonna want to watch. If anybody needs an NL team, the Diamondbacks are right here. And I was like, it's a very young core. They're super fun. I need everybody to get on this train. And everyone's like, the Diamondbacks, Susie, really? I'm all, okay. Also, if we need any more like Astros, I don't know, connection, hello, Brent Strom. Like pitching guru ninja
Legend.
wizard. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
So I think Derek said this on one of the shows about Stromy calling Brandon Pfaadt in the summertime, maybe, or before spring training. I don't remember. But Stromy called Brandon Pfaadt and had told him, hey, I envision you pitching big innings for us in the postseason. And Brandon Pfaadt was like, I'm sorry, what now?
Yeah.
Say what?
Come again?
Yeah. And I don't think he had actually been brought up yet. I'm not super positive, like I said.
Yeah, this is his first like full season of the majors this season.
So
yeah.
So did he start on the big league roster, or did he come up after opening day?
I do believe he started on the big league roster and then he got sent down a little bit in between and then got brought back up. But I do believe he was on the opening day roster. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So now the whole starting rotation carousel that happened in the beginning of the season. So obviously now we have the 1-2 punch of Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly, and then now with the emergence of Brandon Pfaadt. But at the beginning of the season, we had Madison Bumgarner that was also in the rotation. And so now I have not been a lifetime baseball girly. I started my baseball fandom in 2018. So I need you to remember that when I tell you these next words.
Yes.
So when I saw Madison Bumgarner and his, like 5.5 ERA, that is the only Madison Bumgarner that I know.
Yeah.
That lives in my head.
Yes.
So I watched the 2014 World Series.
Yeah.
And Madison Bumgarner is on the mound and they show his ERA and I'm only like half paying attention. I'm sorry. Does that say Madison Bumgarner and like a 1 next to his? What's happening right now? I had to stop the YouTube and I'm all, my husband's name is Mike. I was like, Mike, Madison Bumgarner was a good pitcher, like a really good pitcher at one time. And he just looks at me. He's like, what is the matter with you? Yes. I'm all, no. This Madison Bumgarner, is that the same Madison Bumgarner that's like on the Diamondbacks right now that has like a 5+ ERA? And he's like,
yeah,
I don't know, maybe. I'm all, my mind when I tell you was blown, just absolutely blown.
Yeah,
and I was like, this 2014 Madison Bumgarner is not the same Madison Bumgarner that is on the D-backs. No. And so the fact that you guys that I guess ownership had the cojones to be like, hi Madison Bumgarner, let's just we will pay you to go away. We'll just pay you to go away so that you don't lose us any more games.
Yeah.
Right?
So the Madison Bumgarner thing, I was never a fan of. The original acquisition of him, I thought that they overpaid for a pitcher that was way out of his prime. And the Diamondbacks kind of have a history of getting into really sticky contract situations of paying people more money than they probably deserve and then trying to figure out how to negotiate out of it, aka Zach Greinke. So it's something that they have a little bit of a pattern of. So I really never was a fan of the Madison Bumgarner acquisition to begin with. I thought he was already out of his prime and they gave him way too much money. And he's steadily declined. I don't think we ever really got that vintage, like 2014 Madison Bumgarner ever on the Arizona Diamondbacks. And then this season, he obviously didn't do great at all. Before they DFA'd him, he finished with an 0-3 record and a 10.26 ERA. And he's also making $18 million. So he is one of the highest paid people on the roster, and he's not even playing. So that's great.
Isn't he like the highest paid player?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I don't know. They gave Corbin Carroll an extension. I don't know where that monetarily works out, but yeah, he's definitely up there with Ketel Marte as well, who they also gave an extension to. But it was a disaster, and I never was a fan of that move. But I will say, when the news came down that Mike Hazen decided to part ways with Madison Bumgarner, I'm not even kidding you. I had this feeling of like, oh shit, this team is not fucking around. Because in the past, this team has had to figure out ways to be successful without overspending, because we're not a big market team and we can't just like go out and buy whoever we want to come play here. We have to be smart with how we play baseball. And so knowing where we are and being realistic with our timeline, the general manager, Mike Hazen, has done a really good job of trying to retool this team and be smart with the pieces that they have and be patient and invest in that homegrown talent that has come from the farm system. And so we've had a lot of like half in, half out, like 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out kind of mentality for the past couple seasons. And you've seen like a lot of mediocre baseball because Mike Hazen has basically been trying to buy time for the talent that he has cultivated and rebuilt in his farm system to come up and do what they're supposed to do. And so when they decided to DFA Bumgarner, I was like, oh shit, like we're not messing around anymore. Like we're going to go like from 1 foot in, 1 foot out to 2 feet in, because in the past, this team would have just gone with it. They're like, all right, Bumgarner, you're staying in the rotation. Like, here's another season. Like, we'll maybe get 70 wins and we'll be happy with it. But I had this feeling when they did that, I was like, I think this team is going to not mess around this season. Like, if they can be smart, they might shock a lot of people. And the Bumgarner decision was that first little like, oh boy, like I think this is going to be a different Diamondbacks team. So it was I loved it. I was a little over happy about it. I obviously thank you, Bumgarner, for everything you've done. You're a legend in the game, but it was definitely time for the Diamondbacks to move on, and I'm glad they did. So that was I was starting to get a feeling at that point that in the season that this is going to be a different Diamondback season for us. So.
Well, and again, I was a little surprised that, maybe like at the trade deadline, they didn't go get a starting pitcher. I mean, they got Paul Sewald and, Josh Rojas, over to the Mariners you go. But the fact that, you had Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen, and then you had Brandon Pfaadt, and then you had Ryan Nelson started some games for y'all, and then Tommy Henry.
Yeah,
and
we also had Zach Davies, which again, fever dream, fever nightmare.
Yeah. Well, but all of those are really, really young kids. Yes. All of them.
Yeah, for them. I mean, and also too, I want to backtrack a little bit. I always get, for whatever reason, Ryan Nelson and Brandon Pfaadt are the same person to me. Ryan Nelson made the opening day roster. Brandon Pfaadt did not. Brandon Pfaadt actually debuted in Texas against the Rangers. So great little sidetrack there. Brandon Pfaadt debuted against the Rangers, but so Ryan Nelson made the opening day roster. Ryan and Brandon are both really young. Ryan was supposed to be a starting pitcher, looking more like a bullpen pitcher, but yes, they're both really young. Zach Davies has obviously been in the league for a while. We got him over from the Cubs. And then Zach Gallen's only 28. Merrill Kelly's in that same range. So it's not like, they're super young, but it's not, like these experienced pitchers like Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander, they're definitely on the younger side.
Right. So now, the backhand of that bullpen obviously is been lights out, and it wasn't lights out for a little while there.
Long time. Yeah. I don't think I've ever been I don't think I've ever trusted a Diamondbacks bullpen ever in my life. Like JJ Putz and like the 2001 World Series like bullpen maybe are the only like Byung Kung Kim. Those are the only ones. But this is like all new for me to be able to like a bullpen is like earth shattering.
Right. Well, I mean, again, I didn't start liking baseball until like 2018, but in 2017, I want to say that they made oh no, excuse me. It was 2019. 2019 they had coasters made saying that the my bullpen makes me drink. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they do.
now Saul Frank has come up from AAA, Double A.
Yeah. Saul Frank, I believe he was in the Rays system. And I think that's where they got him from. I could be.
I thought Ryan Thompson came.
Oh,
came
yeah.
over
Sorry.
from the
Again, all the pictures are the same. Yeah. Ryan Thompson, Rays, Saul Frank, yes, came up from the system too. Yeah.
Okay. Now, but he's like super young as well, and he just
Mhm.
barely came up, what, like in August or something?
Yeah. Like super recently. Like he
Okay.
was not with his team for very long at all.
So, when I first heard about him, I was like, "Who is Saul Frank?" And then I think I looked, and he had only pitched, I want to say maybe like 10 or 12 innings before postseason started, and you're all, "I'm sorry, who now?" And then,
Yeah.
Tori's like, "Hey, Saul Frank, get your ass in there. 6th inning, go." I'm all, "Oh, all right, there you go then."
Yep.
Um, so and then Ryan Thompson, what, like, big ass sidewinder from the Rays, and it's just
Mhm.
the Rays are gonna Ray and just be like, "Oh, cool, here, do
Yeah.
that." I'm all,
The Rays are probably kicking themselves a little bit.
just just a little. And then Seawald coming over from the Mariners kind of felt like, I don't wanna say a lateral move, but almost like a lateral move from the Mariners, who thought, that they had a chance at the AL. I'm not gonna talk too much shit, because, obviously we're not in the World Series now, but, we did win the AL West. Um, but, I think the Mariners thought that they were a little bit more, happy with their bullpen over there, so like, "Okay, bye Paul Sewald, here,
Yeah.
D-backs, have Paul Sewald." So
Yeah.
now was it, Dominic Canzone and Josh Rojas?
Mhm.
Paul Sewald? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh Now that I was a little sad because that is part of that young core that I was excited about, but there's
Yeah.
still a really young core of Corbin Carroll and Alec Thomas. Did Jake McCarthy make the World Series roster?
No, so
No.
he has a little bit of an injury issue, so he did not make the NLCS roster or the World Series roster, and he is in AAA right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is he the one that's faster than Corbin? No.
No, that's Brandon Pfaadt,
Brandon Pfaadt,
actually.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Brandon Pfaadt is faster than Corbin Carroll, which is mind blowing because the whole pitchers aren't athletes thing. But yeah, according to Brandon Pfaadt, they raced and he is faster than Corbin Carroll. Now, we don't have any confirmed footage of this, but we do have Brandon Pfaadt on record saying that he did beat Corbin Carroll. But yeah, the Diamondbacks young core is really, really cool and they're really fun. We call them the baby backs.
yes.
And it's just like an electric factory watching them interact together. They obviously are close because they all came up together through the minor league system. And, the bond that they have is like visible. And I think that's something that's also like really special about this team and like why they are where they're at, because they have so much faith in each other. Like they know
Right.
each other. They've grinded together through the minor leagues and sleeping on floors of hotel rooms and eating cheese sandwiches like on the road, and it's really cool to watch the young core together because you can tell that they all care about each other and they trust each other. And, Alec Thomas and Corbin Carroll are really close. And, you got all those guys together and they've incorporated Geraldo Perdomo and that. And, even Gabby Moreno, who's came over this year from the Blue Jays is part of this too. And it's just so cool to watch them. They're a team through and through. And I think that's something that kind of might get lost amongst people that don't follow the Diamondbacks is, watching them play game again. Like they really are a team and they're super close knit. So it's cool to watch for sure.
I love that so much. And then you guys got Tommy Pham. Was it at the trade deadline you guys got Tommy Pham?
Yeah, so
Okay.
the trade deadline wasn't as climatic as we were all kind of expecting. I think we all were hoping they were going to get out and go get some more starting pitching help. I know like Lucas Giolito was out there. Marcus Stroman was in the mix, but they did not do that, which honestly I'm kind of happy with, because watching Lucas Giolito pitch
Yeah.
in the postseason, I was like, whoop, dodged a bullet there. So the trade deadline was a little anticlimactic in terms of what we were expecting. Now, obviously, hindsight being 2020, it all worked out great.
Right.
But we were definitely expecting some starting pitching help. Tommy Pham is a veteran in the league, and so not necessarily the flashiest move, but definitely adds some like better leadership in the locker room. Has been in postseason situations before, so has kind of some of that experience on that end. But yeah, the trade deadline definitely wasn't what we were expecting. It was nice to be buyers for once, because the Diamondbacks have been sellers for year after year so far, but it was not the typical thing that we were expecting from them, but It worked out.
So Tommy Pham on that team kind of cracks me up, because you see all of these like really young, kind of wholesome kids, and then there's like Tommy Pham. And in my mind, I feel like Tommy Pham is that like older brother that's like, what, you want to fuck around, find out? Let's go. You want to talk shit? Okay. And I'm all, no. I think maybe they'll think twice about talking shit, because Tommy Pham is on the team. And it cracks me, because I feel like Tommy Pham kind of, well, I don't know if he gets a bad rap, but I feel like he has a certain persona that he gives off, that whole like slapping Jock Peterson, what, last season, 2 seasons ago?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it just kind of cracks me up that it's like all of these like young kids, and then Tommy Pham. That's just like,
we have Tommy Pham and Evan Longoria. They're both like the grandpas in the clubhouse. And you've got like good cop, bad cop, like Evan Longoria, good cop, Tommy Pham, bad cop. But it's so like somehow it works. Like it doesn't seem like it would work, because half the team is under 25. When Torey Lovullo said that in his press conference the other day, when he was like, we've got half our team is under the age of 25. I was like, oh my God. So you've got a team of, 25 and under, and then you've got Evan Longoria and Tommy Pham, who are like the grandpas in the room, but like it works. Like they just, I don't know, the dynamic is so fun. Like they were doing a beer bucket shower on Longo in the locker room after they won that NLCS, and like they find a way to make it work and incorporate one another. And even though Longo and Tommy Pham are older significantly than a lot of the team, it doesn't really like. I think they need that. Like Longo had a post-gamer presser where he was like, talking about Corbin Carroll, because Corbin has struggled a lot in the postseason so far in terms of generating offense. And finally, in Game 7 of the NLCS, he kind of was able to wake his bat up a little bit. But Longo was like, I've been pumping up his tires this whole time and just telling him to stick with it. Like, it's going to be okay. Like, like this happens to even the greatest of baseball players. And that's the type of leadership that we need for the kids like Corbin Carroll and Alek Thomas, who, might be in a slump or might be nervous about playing on such a big stage or whatever it is. Like Tommy Pham and Evan Longoria bring that like really like veteran leadership and that like grounding presence and like that experience that these kid needs. And that's why I think it works so well. And, he was right. Like Corbin's bat did wake up, and it was good that he was able to kind of help Corbin through that, because obviously Corbin is a competitor and he's frustrated that he's not being able to contribute offensively like the rest of the team is. And so it's cool to see how that dynamic works, even though they're a little bit older than the rest of the team.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. Yeah, that last series, what, I think 3 runs to stolen bases is some sort of like MLB record for any player in a postseason game. That I'm all, oh, that's cool. Corbin Carroll just doing something that nobody else has done ever in the MLB. I love that for you. It's so good. So now, Alec, okay, so for the Astros people that listen to this podcast, like all 4 of you, just so that you know, Alek Thomas is defense-wise probably comparative to like Miles Straw, but with a better bat. Just not much of a better bat, but like a better bat. And I really feel like if Alek Thomas figures it out with his bat, that kid's gonna go far. Like, so
he definitely is the more defensive, like his strong suit's on the defensive side. Like him in the outfield is unreal. He will make plays that you're like, like no one else could have done that. And if you don't know Chase Field, like the outfield is huge at Chase Field. It is gigantic. It's one of the biggest in MLB, and he covers it like it's like a minor league field. Like he is all over the outfield. So defensively, Alec Thomas is amazing. Definitely not as great offensively, but like you said, if he can like just get that like the production up on offense, it's going to be unreal.
Well, but and also he's super young, so I'm not, like I'm saying this as the super athletic
Yeah,
baseball
right.
type that I am, right? So now do Corbin and Alec, are they interchangeable right field, center field, or is that just dependent on the lineup or like who's pitching, or how does that work? Or is Corbin always right field and Alec's like center field?
I'm like 95% sure that they stay in their respective fields.
Okay.
Obviously, if there's a left-handed pitcher, they might switch. But for the most part, they always stay like in those like outfield spots. Yeah.
Okay. And then Lourdes is always in left field, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Lourdes is always left field.
Now, so did Lourdes came over in that Dalton Varsho trade too, right?
Yeah. So we got Lourdes and Gabby from Gabby Moreno from the Blue Jays for Dalton Varsho and like a couple other like minor players.
Okay. So that's normally the starting outfield is
Yep.
Lourdes, Alec, and Corbin?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Now talk to me a little bit about Nick Ahmed. I know
Oh,
that right before
oh
the
no.
I'm so sorry. Was that like right before the playoffs started? No, no.
Yeah,
Was it right
yeah, it
before the
was
playoffs started?
right at the end of the season.
Okay.
It was definitely before the playoffs. It was
Okay.
probably with like a month-ish left in the regular season. Yeah, they DFA'd Nick Ahmed, who was the longest tenured Diamondback on the roster. He was our shortstop, and I was happy about the move. We got in a little bit of hot water here because we a little over celebrated the decision. um it was great decision for the team.
Right.
Unfortunately, Nick Ahmed was just not producing on the offense. He had a couple just bonehead move errors defensively, which, normally Nick Ahmed in his prime, he was probably one of the top 5 defensive shortstops in baseball. But he just obviously fell off, maybe getting older.
Right.
Whatever it is, this was just not Nick Ahmed's season. And then when you have a bunch of young guys that are, waiting in the wings, you really can't afford to continue to let stuff like that slide. Geraldo Perdomo plays shortstop. They also called up another prospect who was their highest rated prospect in their system this season, Drew Jones. And you can't make excuses for Nick Ahmed. So it was a great decision for them. Obviously sad for the team because, the team really respects him in the locker room. He had he was a great guy. He was always nice to the media, just a super, great leader, great human being, great character. But it just, they needed to move on from him. So when they did, we were all, okay.
Like, all right, another hole in the lineup plugged. Got it.
Yes,
All right.
yeah, that was whenever I saw Nick Ahmed in the lineup, I was like, oh no, why?
So I being an Astros fan am a little sad slash salty every time I see Gabby Moreno in the lineup. Because I am jealous, just 1000% jealous that Torey Lovella was like, "Hey, Gabby Moreno, you are a rookie, but you know what? Let's go for it. I'm gonna trust you, and you're gonna run this pitching staff, and your bat is so amazing that we're gonna put you third in the lineup." And
Yeah.
that hurts my soul deep, deep, deep in my soul because we had a rookie catcher that could not break into the lineup, and
Yes.
I'm so sad about it because I'm pretty sure had he, we would not, there would be a different outcome. Let me just put it that way, and we'll just leave it at that. But this is a love letter to the Diamondbacks, and not a disappointment letter to the Astros. Anyways, so maybe Makayla, maybe I can ask you. Do you know if Gabby calls the pitches for Merrill and Zach, or just for Brandon, or are they getting the pitches from Brent Strom? Like,
I
or
know that they use like that like headset stuff.
the pitch com?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the pitch com is where most of the decision making is coming from.
But is that Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen calling their own pitches, or is that Gabby
I
calling pitches?
don't really know.
Mhm.
I'll have to see if I can figure that out. I haven't really looked at that at all. But yeah, I'll have to figure that out because I'm interested to know too. Because I've
Okay.
never thought of that before, like who's calling the pitches for them.
I wanna say that at one point, I think I was watching one of the games, and I think Zach Gallen was calling his own pitches, which, makes sense, but
Yeah.
I didn't know about, like, Merrill, and I didn't know about Brandon and, or if it was, coming from the dugout or what, and so I was interested in that. So if you I don't know, if you just run that by, like, Derek or, somebody,
Yeah.
just,
Just be like,
"Hey."
hey guys, wait, who's calling these pitches?
Susie asked a really good question, and I need to know this, but okay, so now you said that I don't remember if I said this in the intro, and I apologize for that, but you run the PHNX, like, entire social media accounts? Like, tell me your exact title.
Yes. So I'm the director of social media for PHNX. So I'm in charge of all of our Twitter accounts, all 12 of them.
Oh
I
my.
also run our Instagram. And then we also have 3 Instagram channels. And then I have our TikTok, our Facebook. I also do all of our marketing. So anything related to like shirt sales, events, like we run like watch parties and tailgates and stuff like that. I'm doing all the marketing for that. So I am a one-woman social media show here in Phoenix. And it's my dream job. So obviously very, very grateful for that, but it's a lot. Social media is 24/7. So
Yeah.
I never really get to turn it off.
So now PHNX, can you explain kind of like what that is? So it is not just the D-backs, it is all of the Phoenix teams. Am I
Yes.
understanding that? Okay.
Yeah, so PHNX is a digital sports network. We are entirely digital based. So all of our content is on YouTube and podcasts. So we cover every single team in the Valley. So Cardinals, Suns, Coyotes, Diamondbacks. We also do ASU, U of A, the Phoenix Mercury, the Phoenix Rising, and we cover all of them. And we all do it through podcast. So we go live 5 days a week, and then the shows are live on YouTube, and then they're available after in an audio format. And then we also have credentialed journalists who travel with the team, report on the team, are in the locker rooms, and they write articles, which are available on our website. And we have a ton of different types of like events that we do. So we aren't just like a media company. We're more of like a fandom like outlet. Like we have a subscription service that people can subscribe to called our diehards, where they get access to diehard only content. We have a Discord where like all of us, like the talent, are in the Discord talking with them like whenever they want to talk. We do events where we like go take over Footprint Center and go to a Suns game together, and we like all sit together and go to a game and go to a pregame meetup. We've got watch parties where we'll go out to like a sports book and watch the Cardinals game together. So what we're doing is we're really trying to foster diehard Arizona sports fans, which is something that this market needs because Arizona is obviously like a traveler's town. So we get a lot of snowbirds, a lot of people who move here from colder places that bring their alliances to their teams with them. So we're trying to build like a true diehard Arizona sports community here. And we do that through all of our digital means. And we actually are just one city in our organization. We operate in 3 other cities. So there's 4 cities that are the same company that we are, but they're just in different cities. And we are all under the All City Network banner. So All City is like our parent company.
Gotcha. That's so cool. I love that. I'm gonna have to have you back on and just do like a like how did Makayla get here segment. That's just for my own
Yes.
personal like information. But that is so freaking interesting. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Now, have you seen that stat? Someone put it on Twitter that basically this season and all of the dates for this World Series matches up with the 2001,
Yeah.
like, all of, like, the weird kind of
Yeah,
eerie
there's a
coincidences.
lot of weird conspiracy theories happening right now because there's more coincidences than like people realize.
Uh-huh.
So every single day a game is being played is the exact same date that it was played in 2001 when the
Huh?
Diamondbacks won the World Series. Um, George W. Bush is throwing out the first pitch tonight, and he also threw out the first pitch at Game 1 of the World Series last time the Diamondbacks were in the World Series. The Diamondbacks are having the same person who performed the national anthem at their first home game in that series perform again this year. Like, it's really, really weird. There's so many weird coincidences, and I just like, everyone's been saying that this is like a team of destiny, and I'm going to get on a soapbox for a second here.
Do it, baby. Let's do it.
I obviously am such a fan of this team, having worked for them, having covered them. I care a lot about this team, but I don't think anybody had them making it this far. I didn't even have them making it this far. Like, at the beginning of the season, we did our series predictions. I had them finishing third in the division with like 80 wins. So I never imagined that we would be sitting here talking about the Diamondbacks playing in the World Series. But this team feels like a team of destiny. And I just like, it hasn't set in yet that we're playing in the World Series. And I know that when the first pitch is thrown tonight, I'm probably going to cry tears. But it's impossible to ignore all of the storylines that are happening, like all of the magic that had to happen, and all the luck and all the hard work and all of like the timing and the opportunity and the preparation that took to get them to this point. And I'm just so excited to watch this unfold. And if you guys are looking for a team to cheer for in the World Series, like, cheer for the Diamondbacks. I promise you, like, that is a clubhouse full of amazing human beings. Torey Lovello should be manager of the year, National League manager of the year. Like, the whole, like, Brent Strom, the bench coach, Bannister, like, all of them, like, they're all amazing, amazing, amazing human beings. The players are all awesome. Like, this is a team to cheer for. They are the team of destiny, and I'm just so excited to watch them play. And I don't think it could happen to like a more deserving group of people. Like, everybody counted them out. They have kept all the receipts. Everybody has talked down on them. Everyone has counted them out at every single turn. Like, they have just been talked shit about so much, and it's so hard for me to watch because I care so much. But I really, like, I don't want to jinx it, and I'm such a superstitious person, so I'm not going to say anything. But like, they are a team of destiny, and I promise you, like, getting behind this team is so worth it because they're so fun to watch, and they just find ways to win. Like, you think that they're down and out, and they're the answer backs. Like, they answer back. They find a way to get back into the game, even if they're down 3 runs. Like, they don't give up on themselves, or they're down 2 games in a series. Like, it's never over for them. Like, it's never over with the Diamondbacks. So like, get on the wagon because this team is so much fun. There's so many reasons to cheer for them. There's so many young stars like Corbin Carroll. My God, like, Corbin Carroll is the future of the league. I'm just so excited for them. And I'm so tired. I'm so tired of people saying this World Series matchup is boring. Like, man, what is all this? They need to change the playoff format. Like, why are these 16s playing in the World Series? Like, shut up and watch the series. Like, the Rangers are probably statistically the best offense in the American League. Like, we
don't give Rangers any credit on this.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I know. You're a little salty about the Rangers, but they are such a good team, like, on the offense. I mean, I can't say enough about their ALCS MVP. Like, it's going to be an electric series. And like, obviously, this is the first time we haven't had the Dodgers or the Astros in the World Series in like the last 8 seasons. But I think that's good for the sport. Like, we don't want to turn into the NBA where the Golden State Warriors and the Cavs are always constantly winning the finals. And it's like easy to predict. Like, we love the unpredictability, and we love small market teams getting a chance to shine because they don't have the cap space and the salaries to just buy whoever they want. Like, this is going to be an awesome, awesome series. So please stop saying it's going to be boring because I promise you it's not.
Oh yeah, no, I'm so fucking excited to watch this. And everyone's like, oh, so what are you doing tonight, Susie? I'm all, Game 1 is on. Like, what are y'all doing? What the fuck are y'all doing? And they're all, oh, but the Astros aren't in it. I don't give a fuck. Like, I am going to be glued to my sofa to watch this, and I will be 1000% rooting for the Diamondbacks. And there's weird, I say weird people, and I don't mean that like, well, no, it is kind of weird because the state pride here in Texas is just kind of crazy. Because I'm originally from Vegas. Okay. So when people from here, they're like, oh, I'm from Texas, and I'm all, at no point in time do I ever say, oh, I'm from Nevada.
Yeah.
I'm from Vegas. That's what people say. Like, you typically say, like, what city you're from, unless you're from like, California or New York. Like, those are like the 3, right?
Yeah.
But so everyone here, when they're like, oh, okay, so the Astros are out, so it's the Rangers. Well, absolutely not. No, it's always fuck the Rangers here. And my husband is one of those that, oh no, we have to go and we have to root for the No, we're not rooting for the Rangers at all ever. Like no, it is the Diamondbacks, guys.
You have to root for the
Yeah.
Diamondbacks.
But they're like, but we need the World Series trophy to come back from. No, I don't give a fuck. Fuck the Rangers all day, every day. No, absolutely not. So I know that you have to go, but I'm gonna quickly end with these two other little things here. Going back to the kind of eerie coincidences of the 2001 World Series to now. I don't know if you guys remember the whole bird incident
Oh
with
yeah.
Randy
Randy
Johnson, but
Johnson.
that also happened this season. The ace Zach Gallen also threw a ball and hit a bird, and you're like, "What? I'm
Yes.
sorry, what?" So Team of Destiny. I don't know. But
know.
you draw your own conclusions, okay?
I
Like
know. I'm saying
that's
it's so uncanny, you guys. Like,
yeah,
I have a feeling. I don't want to jinx it,
yeah.
but Team of Destiny.
So, but also last little tidbit, Corbin Carroll, we've been hyping him up this entire freaking show. I wasn't aware that Corbin Carroll is dating the current Miss America. What now?
I
Mhm.
also was not aware of that.
Yeah. I was like, I'm
Okay,
sorry,
Corbin
what?
Carroll, pop
Yeah.
off.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, Emma Broyles. Beautiful,
Wow.
beautiful young lady. I say young lady because she's like a baby. But yeah, I guess she went to ASU and I guess that's how they met. I don't know. But this is what I need you to find out though, Makayla. Like
Okay.
I need you to find out like how they met and like how long they've been dating.
I'll dig it up. I'll get some tea.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Corbin Carroll actually took 56 credits of college at ASU while during the pandemic trying to get his degree. So he's
Yeah.
also an ASU guy.
So yeah, I like this is the tea that I need you to find out. Beautiful. I'm super jealous because if you are audio only and you don't actually see me, I don't know if you know this, but I am full Korean. So I have a very round face and I have no cheekbones. And Emma Broyles has beautiful cheekbones because she's half Korean, half white, and I'm just super jealous. And that we're gonna end on that little tidbit. I know everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, Susie, this is a baseball podcast." Yeah, I know, but I stalk all of the baseball players and their wives / girlfriends on social media just so that I can bring you these kind of tidbits.
I love
So
it. You got to do what you got to do.
yeah. So Makayla, tell the people where they can find you, the shows, all of that fun stuff.
So you can follow me on Twitter at Makayla E for Elizabeth Perkins. I had to throw my middle initial in there because apparently there's a lot of Makayla Perkinses out there. And then you can also follow my company at PHNX_sports. And if you're looking for the best Diamondbacks content on the face of the planet, I'm biased, obviously, because I help make it. But we're on Twitter at PHNX_DBacks. We're going to be bringing you all of the best World Series coverage. So definitely go follow them and check them out. The account is going to be popping. And we also will be live for a pregame and a postgame show every single game during this World Series. So check out on YouTube, PHNX Sports, and you can watch our Diamondbacks show on YouTube and also download it wherever you get your podcasts.
Perfect. And so I will link all of those in the episode description below, and so that you guys can follow the super awesome podcast. Just know that there's less cussing on that show, and I know that
Well, we
y'all
have a swear
all
jar. There's a lot of cussing now. We had to get a swear jar. Our GM was like, "You guys, calm down." I think I dropped like 60 F-bombs when we beat the Dodgers. So
I love it. I love it so much. And I was like, you know what? Like this is the type of content I need. Like I need all of the swearing, especially when, something gigantic like that happens. So I'm just saying. But again, Makayla, I appreciate all of your time. Thank you. I know
thank you for
today was
having
like
me. This is awesome. I
super
love girls in
crazy.
baseball. So
Yeah.
shout out to you for being an awesome girl in baseball. We rock.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So again, go follow Makayla, go follow the show. And with that, we will say good night, goodbye, and yay, baseball.
Woo!
Fuck the Dodgers all day, every day.
Fuck the Dodgers.